Every couple of decades, there's that generation-defining athlete that takes over the league and inspires the entire world to achieve new heights. And if there's any sport in the world right now that's in need of a generational star, it's golf. I've been watching golf casually for most of my life, and by that I mean when I get a Sunday free, I'll turn it on for a quick nap and then catch the back nine of the final pairings. But there was a window, and I think most people can agree with this, where golf was must-see TV. Those were the Tiger days. Never had I been so on the edge of my seat to watch a guy either dominate the field or mount an amazing Sunday afternoon comeback to win a major tournament. It was truly an incredible time for the casual golf fan. But as amazing as that was, we all know what happens next.
His Florida mansion is a private matter, and he intends to keep it that way. Meanwhile, possibly an affair with a New York woman.
I want to say to each of you, simply and directly, I am deeply sorry.
And while the comeback win at the 2019 Masters was really cool to watch, it's safe to say that at this point, the Tiger era is officially over, and golf needs a new player to carry the torch. And sure, over the years, there have been some amazing golfers that have inspired young kids across the world, but how many guys since Tiger have been able to transcend the sport completely? A guy whose name you could bring up to your wife and she knows who you're talking about even though she's never watched a day of golf in her life.
Do you know who Rory McIlroy is?
No.
Bryson DeChambeau?
No.
John Rahm?
No.
Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
That's my point.
We truly need a hero to save this sport, and I think Scottie Scheffler could be that guy. Now, Scottie Scheffler has had an incredible career since his first set of plastic clubs at the age of 3. In high school, he won 3 individual state titles from 2012 to 2014, and by 2014, he was the top-ranked junior golfer in the country. He actually made his first PGA start at the age of 17, where he finished tied for 22nd. But sadly was ineligible for his $60,000 payout due to his amateur status. He went on to play college golf at the University of Texas, earning Freshman of the Year in 2015. He helped Texas claim 3 Big 12 titles. In 2017, he was the low amateur at the US Open, shooting a 1 under, and he also graduated in 2018 with a degree in finance. So if golf doesn't work out, I guess he always has that to fall back on, but something tells me that after this year, he's doing okay. After college, he quickly dominated the Korn Ferry Tour, which is basically the G League or the minor leagues to the PGA. He led the tour in points, giving him full status onto the PGA Tour the following year, and was named Korn Ferry Player of the Year. He finished 3rd in his first ever PGA Tour event in 2020, tied for 4th at the PGA Championship, shot a 59 at the Northern Trust, which tied the 2nd lowest round in PGA Tour history, and was once again named PGA Tour Rookie of the Year. And by March of 2022, Scottie Scheffler was ranked #1 in the official Golf World Rankings. He lost that ranking for a brief 7 months before regaining it in May of 2023 and has held it ever since. But just how dominant is that ranking? Well, at the time of recording this video, he's officially #1 with a score of 18.1617. The player in second is Xander Schauffele, who has had an amazing 2024 as well, at a score of 10.7333. And to put that into perspective, Scottie is further ahead of Xander than Xander is of the 25th player in the world. That's how dominant this year has been. But the real question is, how does this season stack up against the other historical performances we've seen throughout the years? And what is it going to take for him to keep going? Well, Scottie's 2024 season has been just that, historic, no matter how you look at it. Out of 19 starts this year, not only has he not missed a cut, but he's only finished outside of the top 25 once, and that was at the US Open where he tied for 41st. He's the first player since Arnold Palmer in 1962 to have 6 wins before the month of July. He tied the course record in France to win his first gold medal, and he's now capped off the year by winning his first ever FedEx Cup playoff, giving him 7 PGA Tour wins, not including the gold medal in France, which is the most since Tiger Woods back in 2007. This is easily a top 10 season all time in the history of the PGA Tour. Now, does this season hold a candle to Tiger's 2000 season where he won 9 times, including 3 majors? No, but looking at Scottie's wins on paper would not do it full justice, because even despite all of his success this year, for some reason it seems like the golf gods have done everything in their power to derail this amazing season. Scottie was having an amazing start to the 2024 Masters, shooting 6 under on Thursday to start the tournament and putting the competition away with a 4 under on Sunday, winning his second of the last 3 Masters by 7 shots. Pretty impressive in its own right. But what the scoreboard fails to show is that his wife was due at any moment that week. And he had spoken to the public earlier that week saying if necessary, he was willing to withdraw from the tournament early to be there for his firstborn child. When you're playing at one of the biggest sporting events in the world, just imagine every time stepping up to the ball and in the back of your mind, you're not sure if your next shot is going to be your last. And put that on top of all the pressure that's mounting with every round. Truly an incredible performance on and off the course by Scottie Scheffler. So luckily, Scottie's son was born shortly after the Masters and he took a brief hiatus, but his return would be set for the 2024 PGA Championship. And after the first round, Scottie was 4 under in 10th place and again positioned perfectly to win back-to-back major championships. But early Friday morning, everything would change.
Top golfer in the world, North Texas's own Scottie Scheffler,
Being arrested early this morning on his way to Valhalla Golf Club in Louisville, Kentucky. Scheffler was detained by police but was
now facing 4 charges, including assault of a police officer.
He's going to jail, and it ain't nothing you can do about it.
In what would appear to be a huge misunderstanding, on his way to warm up for his second round early before the sun was even up, Scottie suddenly found himself handcuffed in the back of a police car on his way to be booked in the Louisville jail. Several hours later, he was finally released from jail, and due to weather conditions, he was luckily able to make it back in time. And after a rushed warm-up routine, he somehow found himself on the first tee box. Scottie striped his first drive off the tee, and the rest was history. He finished that day shooting 5 under par and climbed up to 3rd on the leaderboard. And it's hard to fully understand overcoming being thrown into a holding cell, put into an orange jumpsuit, have your mugshot taken, and still having the presence of mind to get some stretching in just in case you were able to make it back to the course in time. He ended up finishing in the top 10 once again, but that Friday morning he proved nothing was going to derail his year, not even the Louisville police. And as wild as that story was, the crazier part is that we're not done. The legend of Scottie Scheffler would continue at the 2024 Travelers Championship. Scottie was locked into a dead heat heading into the 18th hole against his good friend Tom Kim. Scottie had a 1-shot lead, and after both teed off into the fairway, Tom Kim hits the approach shot of his life, giving him about 10 feet for his birdie. Suddenly, all of the pressure was squarely on Scottie's shoulders. He gave himself a chance at birdie from the fringe, but that was when all hell broke loose.
We've got a whole group of protesters here. They've been tackled on the ground, on the green. Police have responded quickly, but they just came flying down the hill out of the gallery.
Tom Kim showed heart by sinking his birdie putt to force a playoff. It seemed like all of the momentum had shifted in Tom Kim's favor. But you couldn't tell that by looking at Scottie's eyes. He was unfazed and locked in. After 2 shots down the fairway, Scottie put his approach shot about 10 feet above the hole, gave him a great look at birdie. It was going to be up to Tom Kim to answer, but that was when the pressure appeared to be just too much. His second shot found the bunker, and that would all but seal the deal for Scottie's 6th win of the season. And that's what I mean by nothing about what's on Scottie Scheffler's paper resume this year tells me he's ready to be the face of the league. It's everything that's happened off of it. Because golf is a highly cerebral sport. It can be mentally grueling to play 4 rounds of 18 holes over the course of 4 days at the top of your game. After every shot, you have about 10 minutes to walk up to the ball, think about what could go wrong, what could go right, and what your next move is. Not to mention going back to the hotel room every night to be alone with your thoughts, thinking about what your plan is for the next day. And when you wake up, step onto the first tee, all eyes are on you. No teammates to rely on, just you, your preparation, and your skill. And there's hundreds of golfers around the world that have the ability to perform at an elite level. It seems like every tournament there's some random player who bursts onto the scene on Thursday and Friday, but more times than not, the only players that are left standing are the ones that are not only technically elite, but mentally elite as well. Tiger and other great athletes have thrived under this pressure. They have that ability to lock in and tune out all distractions. Fans, the scoreboard, the opponent, all of those things are irrelevant to their ultimate goal of winning. And I see those exact characteristics in Scottie Scheffler. Playing on Sundays doesn't faze him. Protesters storming the 18th green in the middle of a playoff doesn't faze him. Getting arrested a few hours before the PGA Championship doesn't faze him. His best golf is played when the pressure is the highest and the galleries are the largest. He's shown he can stand where others crumble. And this isn't a video to say that Scottie Scheffler is on the same level as Tiger Woods or Jack Nicklaus. It's just to show that he could be, because technically he is one of the best golfers the sport has ever seen. And with everything he's overcome this year, he's proven he has that mental discipline to flip a switch when it matters most. It's the same characteristics we see in all athletes no matter the sport. And it's going to take a decade or more of this sustained dominance to put his name up there with Tiger and the other greats. But I'm cheering for him because I think he can do it. And also, golf needs him. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.